If you leverage the deal and you put 20% down, you can buy 4 times as many properties and your returns almost triple. So let's do that next. Let's look at the annual return on investment when you leverage and make payments on a mortgage. Here's the formula for calculating the ROI, the return on investment, on a leveraged investment. ROI equals net profit divided by the total investment times 100. So a $155,000 house, here's the numbers. Your total cash investment calculated as follows. $31,000, that's 20% down payment, plus $8,500 closing costs, approximately. That equals $39,500 total cash investment in this property. So your total net profit calculated as follows. $15,500, that's 10% annual appreciation, plus $1,500 depreciation, your IRS depreciation, that's approximate, plus another $1,200 annual buy down on the note, that's the principal that's being paid down every month on your note, plus $900 as your rents go up every annually, go up every year, plus $900 positive cash flow after you pay your debt service. So that equals $20,000. Okay, let's subtract some possible costs from this income. Let's subtract the vacancy. So let's figure $540. That's 3% annual vacancy rate. So if you take $1,500 rent times 3% times 12, that equals $540. Also add in $900 for potential repairs at 5% of the income as potential repairs as needed. So $1,500 times 5% times 12. That equals that $900. So your net annual profit is your $20,000 net annual profit before costs minus the $540 vacancy plus the $900 repairs. That equals $18,560 net annual profit. So $18,560 net annual profit divided by the $39,500 total investment times 100 equals 46.99% return on investment. 46.99. So that's insane, right? Maybe we're being too generous with the appreciation. Properties have appreciated 10% on average every year for the past 30 years. So it looks pretty solid to me, but let's suppose it doesn't appreciate at all. That would reduce our net annual profit to $18,560 net annual profit minus the $15,500 appreciation. That would mean it's only $3,060. That's a lot less amazing. So $3,060 net annual profit divided by the $39,900 total investment times 100 equals 7.75% return on investment. The past 30 years tells us it's going to appreciate, but if it doesn't, for whatever terrible reason you want to imagine, you still have a decent return on your cash investment on this one property. Now, it's not great compared to what we're used to in real estate, but compared to stocks, bonds, mutual funds, REITs, virtually every other type of passive investment out there, it's competitive. And if the worst doesn't happen, you get almost 47% return on your cash investment in 1 year. Why are we getting these amazing returns? One word: leverage. That one thing. Beautiful real estate leverage. You sure can't do this kind of massive leverage with stocks. 4x leverage, 4x your equity, 4x your buying power, 4x your return on investment, 4x your profits. When you only have to put 20% down to buy a property, you can buy 5 times as much property for the same money. Even if you figure in the costs of the money, the closing cost, you can still buy 4 times as many properties. Thus, 4x leverage. You buy 4x the amount of property. You get income and appreciation on 4 times as much property. So in this case, $155,000, that's the cost per house, times 4 houses, That's $620,000 total value. Remember, the tenant is paying the mortgage for you. The property manager watches out for your asset. You pay off your loan and enjoy the appreciation and income. So with that said, the big question you should be asking yourself at this point is, how fast will the tenant pay off my loan so I can start getting monthly income? If your mortgage is being paid by the tenant on a 30-year mortgage, how long will it take to pay off that mortgage? A 30-year mortgage is going to take 30 years to pay off, right? If you have an 80% mortgage on a $155,000 property, that's $124,000 at 9.5% interest, amortized over 30 years, your principal and interest payment will be $1,034, principal and interest. Your taxes on this property, $180 a month. Your insurance, $50. Property management, $150. Total expenses, $1,414. Subtract that from $1,500, that leaves you with $86 per month to apply towards principal. If you don't add any money to the payment from your pocket, except that $86 a month, your 30-year mortgage will pay off in about 20 years. That's a good start, but there's no reason it should take you 20 years, even if you don't add a dime from your own pocket to the monthly payment. Let me show you why. Your property manager will increase rents by 5% every year automatically, assuming you have a good property manager with safe house policies. So $1,500 goes to $1,575 in 1 year. $1,625 the year after, $1,700 the year after, and so on. If you increase your monthly payment on the loan over time, just from the increase in rent, without taking anything out of your pocket, you'll pay off your loan in about 12 years. You can do the math yourself. Just Google appreciation calculator and punch in 5% appreciation over 10 years. It jumps the rents from $1,500 to $2,693 per month over 12 years. That means when you pay off your loan, you'll have a monthly net income after expenses over $2,000. But we want you to own it in an even faster than 12 years. This is the power that's built into our safe house algorithm. Here's how. We're going to sell your property to a lease option buyer to make you more money and pay off your loan faster. Lease option buyers are the best. Remember how I said they consider themselves owners rather than renters? We make them a buyer because it makes them more likely to take better care of the property. It also makes them responsible for the repairs on the property. It's all in our rather brilliant contract. We will raise the price when we sell the house, so there's a profit to you above what you paid for it, and the lease option buyer will pay a non-refundable lease option fee, half in cash, which goes to cover the costs of finding, qualifying, and assisting the buyer, and half in payments from the buyer, which goes to you directly, so you can pay down your loan and build equity faster. That should add an additional $200 to $300 a month of income that'll be paid monthly by the buyer as down payment assistance. This is paid in addition to the rent. If you add that $200 a month to your payment, your 30-year loan will pay off in about 9 years. Are you starting to see how powerful an investment structure this can be? This is our safe house algorithm. On top of the loan paying off, your property historically has nearly doubled in that period of time, so you'll receive another $155,000 or so of equity on top of the money used to pay off the loan if appreciation continues the way it has over the past 30 years. There are other ways to pay off your mortgages even faster. I'll talk about those in a future video, but this guaranteed method is already built into our system using our 5 proprietary safe house pillars. And you don't have to do a thing to make it happen. We do it all for you. So our hero, our investor, paid cash for this property because he wanted the income now. Instead of doing all cash, he could buy 4 properties like this for the exact same investment and jump his return on investment from about 19.67% annually to 46.99% annually. I know these numbers may be blowing your mind and hard to believe, but it's just math. There's no big leap of logic here, just straightforward calculations. And if that's true, why doesn't everybody do it? Well, here's the secret. Just because you invest in houses doesn't mean you are going to make this kind of money. Most investors screw it up. If you Google the term turnkey investing, you'll find real estate investors across the country trying to sell houses that they help you buy. Then they promise to get them rent ready, rent them out for you, and manage them for you. There are even under market value wholesalers out there right now in Indiana. Some of these turnkey sellers are skilled investors with tons of experience and great portfolios of their own. So what's the problem with them? Well, that's why I came up with this program, because they pretty much all suck. I know that's not a gentlemanly thing to say, and I know it sounds harsh, but if you give me a second, I can prove it. And honestly, I think you deserve to know. Here's the thing. I don't need to do any of this. If Azam and I never work with another investor or do another deal, I hate to brag, but we'll be fine. Better than fine, actually, and much better than I deserve. I know I don't deserve this, and I know how lucky I am, and I'm so grateful. And because of the gift I've been given in my life, I know it comes with great responsibility to pass on that knowledge and that luck and make other people lucky. That's kind of the point of life, right? Whatever you were blessed enough to achieve, and I know some of you successful dudes think you did it all by yourself, but you didn't. Our society, our parents, all the shoulders you stand on made your success possible. But because of that gift, you have a moral obligation to send the ladder back down for those behind you. That's the only way the world gets any better. People helping people. If your strategy is to build a society where you pull up the ladder behind you after you succeed so nobody can compete with you, well, then you kind of suck. So we try not to do that. We try not to suck. I know most of you aspire to the same thing. And one of the things I want you to understand is that doing what I suggest isn't just about any house or rental property. If that were the case, you wouldn't need a turnkey investor and teacher like me to help you do it. You could just go out and buy a property and make millions. Everybody would do it. All you have to do is look at the math I just showed you to know that you should have been doing this stuff years ago. Why did I wait so long? The best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago. The second best time is today. So stop beating yourself up and start investing today. We help you build a portfolio and create passive income with Midwest real estate, specifically right here in Indiana. Each house you buy makes you $1,000 a month or more forever, eventually. The goal is to make at least $10,000 to $30,000 per month in 8 to 15 years when your mortgage is paid off. Right now, the richest, most powerful people in the world have determined that the single most profitable asset class to invest in is single-family homes, specifically ones in the Midwest and definitely in Indiana. Bezos, Musk, Gates, BlackRock, they're all obsessed with these homes and will pay almost anything to get them because they know these properties are no-brainers over time. It's what's been driving the real estate prices in this country. They play the long, passive income game well. It's why 20% of all single-family home sales in America over the past 4 years have been investors and hedge funds like these. Warren Buffett, who owns one of the biggest realty companies in the world, Berkshire Hathaway, knows that single-family houses are good investments for billionaires like him. And he says, rule number 1 for investors, don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. He knows that single-family houses are a safe investment, or he wouldn't be buying them. A safe investment in single-family homes is a great investment that'll make you money over time. If you wait, you will win. Our company is tiny compared to them, but we have a secret sauce formula for safe houses with 5 criteria. I'm going to teach them to you in a minute. These 5 criteria, we call them the 5 safe house pillars, make it possible for us to compete with those titans and win, simply because we can do what they cannot. We are agile and robust, and we've got boots on the ground. We can identify, build relationships with sellers, and swoop in and pick up the very best properties, enhance our investment efficiency, and engineer the highest possible return on investment for everyone in our group. That's why we can buy the right houses, safe houses, 1% houses, at or even above market value, and still make 30 to 50% annually. We've made hundreds of videos on real-life deals and of thousands of pages of real-life success stories. When you buy the right house at or even above market value, sometimes we have to pay a realtor, a wholesaler, a scout, or somebody else on our team to get the best properties. We've built these costs into our system, so most or all of them are covered by the seller or the new lease option buyer. That way, they're less likely to require cash from you. It makes sense to pay a premium to get a regular stream of good deals because we know if you wait, you will win. This is a long-term hold strategy, GRS, get rich slow. You can let me build your portfolio for you. My team and I will do everything. This requires some money and good credit. If you fit that criteria, just download and fill out the worksheet and send it to me and we'll get you going. Please don't do this unless you're serious. There's one more option. This is the one that most people take. You can do nothing. Everything that is coming at you in life will keep coming at you, whether you prepare or not. There's nothing you can do about that. But what you can do is prepare yourself for it. Create a solid financial structure you can live comfortably on for the rest of your life, and then pass on to the ones you love. Life is so much better when you're ready for what comes. All right, that's all I've got for now. If you want to work with me, fill out the worksheet and email it to me at joecrump@joecrump.com. Whatever you decide, we wish you all the best of all good things. Thanks now.